Yes. Mr. Raphie Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. I'm going to do this. Let me drop the link. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. And we had to do this. My time has been very limited of late. So, it would be rude of me not to try and use a little bit of time. We got about an hour and a half max to get this thing done. Okay, so what we doing here? I think we're going to the sound check. So let's do this. Smash that like button while you're in here. Let's pin that. And let's get the sound check underway. Let's have a listen. Let's pin that. Dang, that's loud. And music is definitely. Okay. That's a good one there. Interested to know what the subject is with this cryptic title. The girl told me the other day that I speak in riddles. I'm the Riddler. I don't mind. Get them with the riddles. Yeah. Hope everyone is well. Still happening. Always happening. If I put the thumbnail up, if I advertise it, then it's going down. Mr. Leon Figures enjoying married life up in the building. Just come back from the honeymoon. When was this? This was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, John? Because you was on, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think it's the last time I was on, isn't it?
It was the last time you was on. What, is a month?
Maybe, yeah.
Damn, son. Feels like just the other day.
Can't even remember what it was about last time.
Hey, I've done about what? How many live shows have I done now? It's got to be something like 700 live shows, easy.
Yeah.
700 live shows, easy. Because I think I was up to like about 300 and something for the Boxing Talk with Raphie's. And then there was the weekend edition at times. Then there's the Rick Glazer editions. Then there's the live shows. It's got to be minimum of 700. Minimum. Easy. Over what, 4 or 5 years? 5 years? Easy.
Well, wasn't it 2019?
2020. Yeah, so that's what, 4 years? I'm sure it's 5 years. I think it's 5 years. I'm saying 5.
I think the first time I came on was 2019. I don't know when you actually started.
It wasn't long before that. A few months, couple months.
Yeah, and it was actually arguing about the individual. I'm probably going to spend a bit of time talking about due to him being in the title.
Oh, damn! The riddle.
I don't need that. That's obvious. That riddle to me.
The riddle. John reckons he solved the riddle. What? How long are we? 6 minutes, 20 seconds into the show.
Yeah, you posted that half an hour ago.
I did.
And there's only one fiddler involved. and as it happens, I'm pretty certain I came up and defeated a certain individual called Tommy about this man, same man. Oh yes,
yeah,
who's been creating deception ever since.
Oh yes, Yes, we're going back in the archives, folks. We're going back in the archives and dang, first time. Dang. Time flies. Jesus, it's scary. It is scary. What John's dropped off, but the link is pinned. So okay, we're all good. You'll jump back in. Boom. There we are. Yes, so we got is it Mr. Warren, the king of the fiddler, the funny bone tickler? Is it Mr. Warren? I think is an indicator of intelligence. My wife is always telling me to stop, speak English, please. I like to think it's an indication of some level of intellect. One would hope. And talking about intellect, Raphie is back in college. First day today. Doing a couple of.
You've been accused of being 16 again, right?
I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna, because it was 12 months ago. It's pretty much damn near 12 months ago, almost exactly.
Maybe it's moved up to 17 now.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But remember, it was one particular young lady who was a little bit thirsty, so that may have.
Give her a drink.
No. She was only 16. Only 16. Well, how was I to know? He says, how was I to know? Brian knew for sure. But I tell you what, if I met her in the club, I would have had no idea. Gal was about what, 6'2", slender, like a ballerina. Looked like she was could walk. You could transport her straight to a catwalk in Paris or Milan easily.
So she could run for a bus.
Oh my goodness, she's incredible, but only a baby, alas.
They're getting tall now, though, right?
What the hell? Talk to me about it. I'm standing in queues and shit, and I'm seeing women like 6'2", 6'3". I was in Morrison's last year. This bloody woman about 6'4", 6'4" minimum. I say 6'5".
Taller than the Raph, then?
Taller than the Raph. The Raph had to look up to her.
Raph did not feel regal that day.
Well, she was so regal. I thought, well, you know what? You can take my regal, put it next to your regal, and let's see what happens.
Right. I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but my daughter plays a lot of netball.
Yeah, she's a tall girl as well. Yeah.
Well, generally you'd think she's tall. She's 11 years old. She's 5'7".
Yeah.
And the other week she played against a girl in her own age group who was 6 foot tall.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a high probability my daughter will be that tall, but this girl was 11.
Jeez. It's crazy out there. I'm walking past girls and they're eye to eye with me. That's unheard of. This is ridiculous. Eye to eye with you. Some of them I'm having to look up to. I'm having to look up to some damn girl who looked absolutely delightful. She was in a gym gear, and me and a friend of mine, gym buddy. We just stood where we just stopped walking. Yeah, we just stopped walking and watched her. She walked past her and she had this little regal smile on her face. Like, I know. I know. She knew how good she looked. She did know how good she looked. She looked absolutely ridiculously great.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the tall girls, right?
Well, I've had my issues with them in the past, but I'm over it. I think I'm over it. I thought, you don't want them too tall. Good 3 inches shorter than the Raphie, maybe 4, maybe 5, and that's good. But I've warmed to them over the years. You know what I mean? I still can't hack the notion of a big-footed gal.
Well, it depends on it. The tallest girl I've ever been out with was 6'2".
Yeah.
And that was for a long time. That was for a few years.
Yeah.
My ex-wife 6'1".
Oh yeah. Good height.
And when they're that big,
yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have a size 8 or 9.
They're gonna have a big foot. You have to resign yourself.
But we're not talking size 12s, right?
No, we don't want that. We don't want that's too much.
we don't get that.
You're gonna have to get into some cosmetic surgeries, chop the toes off, make some new toes, keep the toenails. Stick them.
I mean, if you're a man, like anything more than a size 12, you don't want to have that, do you?
Well, I mean, I'm a 13. No, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with being a 13. You know what I'm saying?
Because like my old man was a size 12. He's only he's only 6'2".
Yeah.
Back when he, in his day, shoes only went up to 11.
Jeez.
As soon as he could get a 12, they were straight on his feet.
Jeez. I remember seeing, growing up, my teenage, how old was I? I don't know how old I was, but I was younger anyway, teenager. And I used to see tall guys with ill-fitting trousers, when the trousers just a centimeter too short.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, though, like, if I've got a picture of my old man somewhere doing his national service in the 50s.
Yeah.
And at 6'2", he towered everybody in his, like, whatever unit it was. That used to be tall.
Yeah, it used to be tall. 6'2" used to be tall. It ain't.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It ain't nothing now. Girls are walking past you.
You get down by girls.
Girls are looking down. He's 6'2". 6'2" now.
It's not even a thing.
It's not even a damn thing anymore. Jeez. No. But yet, I know I've been in the back of a car and I couldn't sit up straight. My neck was crooked to one side and I had to hunch down.
What car was that?
I can't remember. This was going back.
Is that actually the worst for
could have been some kind of polo. I don't know. I can't swear to it.
The Audis have got that bubble shape, haven't they?
Yeah. Slope down at the back.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't like it.
It's crazy. It's not comfortable. Will undisputed happen? Well, we're gonna undisputed. Oh yeah, that's
well, allegedly there's a deadline for December.
Well, we'll talk about that for sure. Where's the noisy American say Special K up in the building? Where is he? Where is that dude? I think he's busy, man. I think he's busy. He's been traveling, talking about the fight doctor. He went to South Africa recently, so obviously he's on the paper chase. He's got to make that money for them holidays, them international flights. Inoue versus Tapolas for Undisputed on Boxing Day, December the 26th. Indeed. Inoue number one pound for pound if he wins, but is he though? Damn, that's a discussion we got.
I've still got Crawford.
That's a discussion. Yeah, me too. I still got Crawford if he wins. I mean, is Undisputed just about the person who wins the most belts in different? I mean, is pound for pound just about the person who wins the most belts in various different decisions? If that was the case, it'd be Canelo.
Well, he's only got one undisputed, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, Undisputed is a factor. Yeah, Undisputed.
Well, I mean, originally it was supposed to just be to level it out, to take size out of the equation.
Yeah, if you take size out of the equation, I still got Crawford. If you go by the where is it? Where's the comment?
I mean,
if you go by the strict definition of pound for pound, then it's basically just making everybody a middleweight. Oh, this is my version of it. Make everybody a middleweight, and who's the best then? You make them all one weight, take out the highs, take out the lows, make them all one weight, and who's the best then? And for me,
I mean, the way
it's still Crawford.
The way Inoue beat Fulton was pretty.
It was impressive.
I was a bit on the fence because it was the first time he moved up, and I wasn't sure his power would carry.
But I wasn't overly impressed with Fulton anyway. When was I ever?
But the thing is,
with Fulton,
how good really was Spence? Because I'll be honest, but when Brooke announced that he was going to fight Triple G, I was upset because I thought it meant that he wouldn't be at his best against Spence, and I thought he had the beating of Spence.
Who are we talking about?
Brooke.
Okay, Brooke. Yeah.
because that's where he got his first world title, isn't it? He was Mundo for Brooke.
Yeah.
Up until Brooks eye socket went, Brooke was winning.
He was doing well. He was doing well.
Well, the thing is, when you've got a plate on one side, it creates a weakness on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. He broke his upper orbital bone, didn't he?
For real.
So, I mean, people have won with broken orbital bones, so it's not a straight excuse, but it's difficult to fight through an orbital bone breakage.
Yeah, for real. Agreed to what, big boys? I don't know. Agreed to what?
Maybe he's got Crawford.
Maybe. Look at their face. Oh, sorry, you were saying something.
No.
You were saying something, were you not?
No.
Okay. Look at their face. Not just bosoms. Nah, she didn't have big bosoms. She had small bosoms. She was like a ballerina shape, but just six version.
To be honest, Leon, if the bumper's there, I can overlook the face.
Who's looking at the face? Who's looking at the face?
Sorry.
But in a nightclub, I mean, you can look at the face as much as you want. I mean, and furthermore, still, it was a very angular face. I'm telling you, in a nightclub, she'd have passed with 23. Easy. If she said she was 23.
Yeah, but that's why, you should avoid anything under 30, right?
Say again?
That's why I stay clear of anything under 30.
You stay clear of anything under 30. Yeah. That's you, John.
No, yeah, but...
John, when I'm an old man, on my veranda in the Caribbean somewhere, yeah, in that rocking chair, you're going to see, if I make it that long, hopefully, God willing, if I make it that long into old age, I hope I do, you're going to see me with a regular smile on my face, John.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I just think it takes...
And the reason for that is that, that movie, that film is going to be playing in my head, and, all manner of beautiful, well-toned, marvelous skin. I'm going to remember all of that. So, I personally have to dip under 30 to achieve those goals in reasonable abundance.
See, I think it's more a skill factor. They haven't really served their apprenticeship until they've got past 30, right?
That is true. But being a teacher by nature, being a teacher by nature, what I'm saying, I'm gonna dip under 20. I'm gonna dip under 30.
Yeah, but I don't like him as skinny as you do.
One thing I know about me is that I've got many types, many types. I can go from skinny. Some people are going to throw up in their mouths, but I was with a recovering anorexic lady at one point. And she wasn't in the depths of it. She was in the recovery phase, but she was still skinny, my friend. But one thing I noted, and one thing I realized is that no matter how skinny she was, there was still one part of the body that was quite plump, and that told me that particular part of the body has an extreme self-preservation instinct.
It's the storage center.
I tell you what, mate, I witnessed the survival instincts of that particular part of the anatomy. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Everything else was skinny, but that remained plump.
It happened.
Yeah, I saw it.
And that could be a very good thing.
I saw it, man. It was a very good thing.
Yeah, that can be a very good thing.
It was a very good thing. Let me see. What are people saying? A little Amazonian. Absolutely. Amazonian. Yeah. 6'2" ain't nothing these days, my friend. Many love feet these days. Not sure. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you exactly what that's about. John talked about skills. Well, we're not going to go into it because it would seem like Raphie's bragging and boasting, although I'm just talking facts. But I'm not going to go into it. I'll just give you a little bit. But I was on a bus. It was only a few years ago. I was on a bus. It was the summertime. I think the car was in the garage where I couldn't drive that day. So I was on a bus, beautiful sunny day, summer dresses all around. I was sitting, it was a double decker. I was downstairs, the very back, and I was in the middle. So for her to get, this particular lady came on, looked me in the eye, smiled. I smiled back, just wearing some jeans and a very light sweater, looking very Betty Boo-like. She made eye contact. I returned it. We held it. She walked straight up to me. I moved my size feet 13, my size 13s to one side to let her get in on my left. Everybody else was further up on the bus. I'm not going to get into details, but Raphie showed his skills that day. Charm, wit. Long story short, I'm going to miss out the middle bit, but she put her feet up afterwards, and for the first time ever, where's that comment? For the first time ever, Raphie understood the love of the feet, because those feet were just perfect feet. She had a perfect right foot. The toenails were perfectly painted, and they were perfectly cut. Everything was squared off perfectly. And then I must have been staring at them, and I must have stopped talking just to stare. And she said, "Have you got a foot fetish?" And I said, "Well, not normally, but I got to say, that right foot of yours is, yeah, I can understand. I can understand now. And I would. Yes, I would. I was freshly washed. I would do it. Dependent on the foot. I mean, not just any old foot, but I mean, if the foot is that beautiful, then yes, I would.
Yeah,
I would.
yeah, okay. Well, I can appreciate an aesthetically pleasing foot, but it's not going to do anything for me.
No, it did. It did. It never before. It did on that occasion. Generally, no. On that occasion, it did. It did. So don't rule out. Don't say it never could, because believe me, I was one of them.
Yeah, I'm quite functional about this sort of things. It's why it tends to have a bumper focus. Right.
Yeah.
Because even like other things that are perfect, I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate it, but it's not going to. It doesn't serve the same purpose.
Yeah, I understand that, but it could. I'm not going to go into it, but it could. I'm not going to go into it, but it could. It could.
Anyway,
it could. It could. It could. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So I didn't before, but I do now. On the perfect foot. Yes. 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 I don't think a woman should be taller than her man. And once again, things change. I've been thinking about this topic. I've been thinking about change, because tastes change. Things changed. At one time, for the longest time, I couldn't relate to the foot thing. And then I met a lady, and everything changed on that particular foot. I understood.
Well, my ex-wife of 10 years was taller than me.
Wow.
I'm 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Not that I'm sure.
No.
I'm intimidated by things like that.
Well,
to be honest, Raph, if she had bigger hands than me, that would bother me.
Yes.
I don't know how I'd handle that.
Yes. It would bother me in one way and not in another way.
Well, the hand, like I couldn't do that. No.
Yeah, I do understand that. It's got to be a little. You want some daintiness.
But it's not even that, Raph. Like, I've got kind of like caveman hands.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah. So like, I'd be like.
If they're bigger than that, that would be like baseball mitts. Yeah.
Yeah, like full on.
Baseball.
Yeah.
So once again, J-Bus, Merca, things change, man. Things change. Opinions change. Your point of view changes. Things change, man. I've been thinking about change recently, and how many of my opinions are not what they once were, how they've changed over the years. You know, things change. So what I'm saying is I met a woman, well, I've met two women who were taller than me. And they were absolutely stunningly gorgeous.
What are you, Raph? 6'3"?
I'm up there, bro. Yeah, around that. Yeah.
So somewhere between 6'2", 6'3". It's a funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny place, to be honest.
Well, I've met two women who were taller than me and who were drop dead gorgeous and who were anatomically, because you know I do like a structure. I do like a good structure. I do like a good, correct structure. So when I say they were drop dead gorgeous, I'm talking about the structure as well. I'm not just talking about the face. I'm talking about everything. Matter of fact, I'm even talking about the attire, how they put it together. So yes, I did feel that way, but I don't feel that way anymore. It's crazy. I have met women taller than me, two of them who made my jaw drop. So, like I say, things do change. Opinions do change. He blasted out Daenerys in the rematch. He did. How many divisions has Ngannou been champion, and how many divisions for Crawford? Is that what you want to look at? Well, no. I'm saying who's the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? Put them at the same. Who's the better fighter? That for me.
If people want to have Inoue, I can see the argument.
I can see the argument. I think if somebody said it anyway, I wouldn't try to fight them for it.
It's pretty. Like, I'd have them at 1 and 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I'd have. Yeah, well, I do have them at 1 and 2.
For me, Crawford can just do things that other people can't do.
Yeah.
And it's his brain as well.
He's got a hell of a fighting brain. Hell of a fighting. Well, as does Inoue. I mean, you know. But,
I mean, they both have.
Yeah.
But can Inoue switch it?
I don't think he can he?
No, because like Crawford beat Spence Southpaw.
Can Inoue? I mean, I think that's one of the biggest arguments. I think that's one of the most salient arguments, because if some people see everything else as equal, I don't, because I think Crawford is slicker. But if another person thinks everything else is equal, then you throw in the switch hitting aspect, and that is a serious talent.
It's not like he can do it, but he's not as good with his left. He beat Spence in the southpaw stance all the way.
Southpaw stance.
He just decided he was going to fight him southpaw. He decided in the dressing room.
Come on.
So it's just that. It isn't just about accomplishments. It's about he's got dimensions beyond what other people have. For real. I mean, like, okay, you could say who's the bigger dog between Inoue and Crawford. It'd be very difficult to say.
Yeah.
Who's got the better power? Difficult to say. Both got good boxing brains. And then he's just got that trump card, hasn't he? He just became undisputed in his opposite stance.
Come on, folks. You gotta appreciate that. You gotta respect that. Now, back in the day, I'm gonna get to it now. Back in the day, we had a football coach, manager. We called him. Came to England. We're on topic now. Came to England. We'll see when John gets it. And Italian fella came to England, and he changed things around. He messed around. He mucked around, and they called him the Tinker Man. You got it here, John?
Hold on a minute. I want to see where this is going now. I don't know how many people outside the UK can understand that. Anyway,
I don't know how many people outside the UK are going to get the reference, but it don't matter, because I will take you there. They called him the Tinker Man. And people in the chat, got to be some UK cats.
Well, yeah.
Got to be a couple UK cats up in here, or definitely in the replay, but then I'll get too late because I already told you. But they called him the Tinker Man because he changed, he fiddled, he would do one thing one week, another thing the next, and but he's reasonably successful, so they let him have it. And they called him the Tinker Man. It was a criticism at first. Tinker, tinkering, messing around. Those are some definitions of tinkering. So it's probably not the direction that John thought it would. But anyway, that's tinker, to tinker. We're not talking about a tinker man who collects things. No, we're talking about tinkering, messing around, switching around. And
see, I thought you were doing a double entendre, to be honest.
No. But I could have done, but no, I wouldn't want to do that. There's some danger elements in that which I have already detected. So therefore, I won't do that. Raphie ain't green behind the ears. He ain't wet behind the ears. He knows what's up. Multi-dimensional. I can see how different people will interpret things and misinterpret things, John. So we're not talking about that aspect of tinkering. It's a different kind of tinker. It's messing around. And another definition for tinkering is to fiddle. And we have one man who you have to ask yourself the question. He said of himself, I just sometimes look in the mirror and think, I'm an absolute genius. And you know something? He kind of is. He is a bit of a genius. In a funny kind of way, because he himself is a tinkerer.
Raph, you need to be careful with that one.
A tinkerer. He's a tinkerer. He's a tinkerer. Tinkering, fiddling, the king of the fiddle, and the fiddle also has certain connotations to shortchanging people. When you've been fiddled, you've been cheated. You've been cheated in some form of way. If it's with money, then you have been shortchanged. You've left happy, and you only realize later that you have been fiddled. So I hear out there, I ain't mentioning no names, I ain't calling no names, but there's talk that this guy, one cat who we know, how you doing, my buddy? I'm talking about you. One cat who we know is now calling Tyson Fury the best heavyweight of all time. And
really?
no, yes. And you know who I'm talking about. I ain't mentioning no names.
There's two anyway. I can think of.
I ain't mentioning no names.
They share the same brain.
I ain't mentioning no names.
But I mean,
but let me just finish this. Let me land this. So we have a narrative from one of our friends, one of our wayward friends, I must say, that Tyson Fury is the best ever. Now I'm saying, I have to restrain myself here with the obscenities. But I'm saying, how can you call a man who has not fought the best of his time, who has not fought the best in the division in all the years he's been there? One time he did. He did fight Vladimir Klitschko, yes, but he should have been serving a suspension. He should not have been in the ring. Vladimir Klitschko said if I'd have known that he'd failed a drug test in his previous fight against Hammer. I would not have fought him. So okay, give him that. He fought Vlad. What else has he done? What else has he done? Okay, you mentioned Deontay Wilder, but I can't. Will the history books accept that's a cherry picker? An Al Heyman fighter, an Al Heyman who effectively has shut down Showtime because of his cherry picking. He had a promoter, a manager who shut down a legendary platform, boxing platform. His promoter, how did he shut it down? Because he constantly had his champions fight for the most part cherry picks, and he closed down Showtime. So how can a man like Deontay Wilder be acclaimed to be one of the best? Yeah, one of the best punchers for sure. Give him that. Give him that.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure I can even give him that.
One of the best. Well, certainly in this era. I don't know about all time. This era. But let me finish this. No, then we'll go. And so how can you proclaim? Is the bar so low that you can now proclaim this cat, the fiddler, arguably the king of the fiddle, certainly in this era, last 10 years, 7 years, the king of the fiddle? You're proclaiming him, the man who has been averse to fighting the best. Deontay Wilder wasn't the best boxer, never has been. Averse to fighting the best, and you're going to proclaim him to be the best ever. I'm afraid to say we've reached a new low. And in this fight with Francis Ngannou, we've reached a new low, because the guy who's being proclaimed by one as the best is, in this fight, nothing more than a YouTube boxer. It's nothing more than the Misfits. Nothing less, nothing more. And you're proclaiming this guy as the best ever. And he says himself, sometimes I look in the mirror and I think I'm a genius. Well, to have one cat saying he's the best ever, what he proves that he can fiddle. He can fiddle, doing so little and gaining so much. To me, that is the king of the fiddle, John D. Lee.
Well, it's the Emperor's no clothes, isn't it? It's the Emperor's new clothes.
Yeah.
So if we take Muhammad Ali, yeah, we don't have to say, because even if you're going to give Fury, Vlad, and Wilder, no caveats, nothing, right? So that's two opponents. Yeah. You go back to the 1960s, Ali beat Liston. He rematched Liston, something that Fury wouldn't do for Vlad.
Yeah.
He then fought every single person available to him in the heavyweight division in the 1960s. Then he has time out of the ring. We all know why. Comes back, okay, loses to Fraser, but again, he avenges that loss. Beats Foreman. And then his run in the 70s is pretty conclusive as well.
Yeah.
You know, who didn't he fight? The only one you could really maybe say something about is he didn't rematch Foreman.
Yeah.
But it's an extensive run across 2 decades. Mm-hmm. And you're hard pushed to say he didn't fight him, he ducked him, he didn't fight him. Joe Louis fought every single person, 25 title fights. It was 24 successful defense.
Yeah.
Find me somebody in the middle of the 1980s that Mike Tyson didn't fight and beat.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, last undisputed champion, who doesn't he have on his resume? Who's missing? Riddick Bowe. But Riddick Bowe put the belt in the bin.
Chicken Bowl.
In the ultimate duck of all time.
Chicken Bowl.
He threw away a world title rather than defend it and made a publicity stunt out of it. So there's 3. And you've got Larry Holmes as well.
Oh, gosh.
So
that jab.
Yeah. Well, he's got 23 successful title defenses. He's second on the list, isn't he, after Joe Louis for actual title defenses?
Title defenses.
Yeah. So to even think that Tyson Fury could get in the top 5 is pushing it for me. Makes it very challenging when you think, right, well, we can say you've got 2 good wins, Tyson.
Yeah.
Well, Muhammad had 7 good wins in the 60s and then about another 7 in the 70s.
Damn.
Tyson went into a tournament and beat everybody, cleared it out, and became undisputed beyond any question of a doubt, and then went on to defend his belt multiple times.
For real.
Lennox Lewis's story is different, but I mean, he went from nobody thinking he's got anything to that.
Yeah.
I mean, even this. How is Tyson Fury actually better than Vlad? If you're actually going to look at it, how is Tyson Fury actually better than Vlad? Based on what?
Based on what?
Yeah. I mean, the only opponent you could say on his resume is better than any of Vlad's opponents is probably Vlad.
Yeah.
There isn't anything better. I mean, like Derek Chisora, Dillian White, and Deontay Wilder twice. No,
3 times.
No, once is a title defense, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So he's only got like 3 title defenses. He's got 3 title defenses.
It's great.
He's a 2-time champion.
Oh Lord.
And we're trying to put him there based on what?
Oh, it's heresy. Heresy.
It's horrific.
It's heresy, I tell you. Heresy.
It's just this, like anybody who wants to have any involvement in the sport, who actually wants to talk about history. Don't care if you're not interested in history, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then don't make any claims about who's the best and who isn't.
Don't do that.
Just don't get involved in it.
Don't get involved in that debate.
I don't care who you have in your top 4, but what order it is. But for me, my top 4 is Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis.
My top 4. What was that? Top 4 or 5?
Well, for number 5, I'm probably going to have Mike. My top 4.
Well, my top 4 would be Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes.
So we've got the same people. We just have a different order.
Different orders.
But like, what you're really arguing over there, like minutiae. There's not a lot in it.
No.
I mentioned it earlier on in the evening.
No.
I mean, it's very difficult for someone to explain to me how Fury is better than any of them.
It's not logical. I'm sorry, you can't make a logical argument for that. I wish, because I don't think we've ever had this debate. This is a new thing.
I'm not even sure, right? If Fury goes on and beats Usyk, he then beats whoever else you want. Zhang, I don't care who you're rating in the current top 5. I think he needs to fight Anthony Joshua. Really? Like,
you definitely have to fight Joshua. I mean, you'd have to stick around for another 5 years, 6 years.
To actually, I mean, to do what Ali's done.
Yeah.
Like that's across what 64 is it to 78?
Yeah.
Something like that. Joe Louis is like 36 to 1949 or 50.
Okay.
But they've both got a good 15 years. Vlad's got over 10 years.
Yeah.
You could probably argue Vlad comes in at number 6.
You could probably argue that.
I mean, I don't like his style.
No, I hate his style. But
from achievements perspective,
yes,
dominance, like you're probably going to have Vlad ahead of Tyson Fury if you're having the actual top 10.
Yeah. So this is a new thing. It's a new conversation. We're gonna have to do this several times.
For everyone to even consider Tyson Fury, it's got to be all eye test. And I'm not really sure which fight you're basing that off, because it can't be the Vlad fight, surely.
Surely not.
It can't be that. I mean, the man had the nerve to claim he stood toe to toe with Vlad this week.
He ran, he fiddled. Okay, we're talking about the fiddler. We're talking about the king of the fiddle. Well, look at Vlad v Fury. Tell me that wasn't an exhibition of fiddling. We all know it.
It's a new sport, Raphie. It's a televised competitive TIG.
Yeah, fiddling, TIG fiddling.
There was no Tyson Fury did not throw a punch in anger. He just touched him. He just scored points. There was no attempt of any kind to do anything other than stop Vlad from winning. It was one of the most all-time negative performances I've ever seen.
All-time negative performance, and it was painful. I had to watch that fight. I had to watch that fight in 3 installments. I couldn't watch it in one go.
He had the cheek this week to claim that he stood toe to toe with Vlad. That's like next level audacity. No point, stop moving.
That's next level audacity.
And this is what I mean by the Emperor's no clothes. He just thinks he can say it.
Yeah. And
the sycophants will stand by what he says.
Suck it up.
Yeah. I mean, the desperation to try and claim he's an all-time great. Ridiculous. It's
sacrosanct. It's
I don't think. I mean, and we haven't even spoken about Jack Johnson. Like, there's other people that we can start talking about. So many more over Tyson Fury.
I forgot Jack Johnson. I have him up there. I have him up there in 5 or 6 as a historical figure. Just what he did.
With the pre-war style, pre-First World War style.
Yeah, that's the trickiness. That's the only reason I'd leave him out, because it's pre-war. It's a different era. Well, in some respects, you can say, is he even the same sport?
Yeah,
I understand that. That's the only reason.
But you still probably need to put him in the top 10 anyway, because he changed the sport.
So influential.
Yeah.
So influential. So influential that you have to acknowledge him. You have to acknowledge the dude. You have to. What the hell? What's going on here, lad? Let's just have a little. Or maybe I should keep that up there. Tyson, Ali, Holmes, Lewis, Holyfield. Jeez, that's a weird list. That's a weird list.
I don't know how you can put Holyfield in the head of Joe Louis.
No, you can't, man. You can't, man. I mean, if you're going to put Holyfield up there, you might as well put Bo up in there. I mean, Bo, would Tyson Fury even beat Riddick Bo? I think Bo would make him soil his pants, personally.
In terms of actually in the ring,
yeah.
I don't think he would beat Big Daddy Bo, because I'm not convinced about all sorts of things about Tyson. But in terms of like achievements,
there
might be more or less on a level. Because Riddick is a massive underachiever, isn't he?
Yeah, massive achiever.
And that's really where you'd probably say Tyson is, realistically.
Yeah.
Like, Derek is one of his title defenses. A man he'd beaten twice already.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, I think people need to let that sink in. How many heavyweight champions have fought in what was that? His second title defense, third title defense. A man you've already beaten twice.
It's disgraceful. It's utterly disgraceful.
And then his fourth title defense is a novice boxer.
Yes.
And he hasn't fought for over a year.
Is he even a novice? What do you mean? Is he actually a novice?
Ngannou So for me, a novice.
Does he actually reach novice level? I don't even know if he reaches novice
you're
level.
a novice when you have it. Doesn't it literally, in its literal sense, mean no experience?
Novice, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, novice, absolute novice. Bloody hell, absolute novice. That's what it means. It means that you don't know what you're bloody doing. You don't know what it novice. And the literal meaning of novice is you don't know your ass from your elbow.
and that's his 4th title defense. And
Yeah.
then we're hearing, you know, lots of reasons why if he doesn't fight Usyk in December, he's going to take him to court. That doesn't sound like someone who wants to fight Usyk.
Who's going to take who to court?
Right. So Fury has said this week, allegedly, that if Usyk doesn't fight him in December of this year, he's going to take him to court.
Oh, really? So all of a sudden, the guy's been ducking for how long? He's
Yeah,
going to take him to court.
Because you know they've announced that they're it's signed now.
Yeah.
So he's done this before, hasn't he? He did it with Joshua last December. You put in an unrealistic deadline that you know the other person can't meet as a way of saying, well, you've broken it, you've ducked me.
The king of the fiddle.
It's the emperor's no clothes, Raph. New clothes. Like, he just thinks that if he tells this clever lie, all the idiots are just going to go along with it, and it's what happened.
Well, they have.
No, but and it has. So as rather than
king of the fiddle,
a man with an IQ of 100 is a genius amongst people who are severely retarded.
So he meets the criteria on all levels. OMG. The king of the fiddle, folks. What's this? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We ain't staying long. Raphie is on some serious time crunches these days. I take some time off at lunchtime a couple of days a week. Then I had to add that onto the end of the day. And then I got this to do. I got my training to do. I got, other various things to do, water the garden. It's winter now, but still. Wyatt had serious wife issues during that Fury camp. She was suffering postnatal depression, and Wyatt had spent time with her rather than training. Well, listen, a cat that I know, not personally, but I know of, a cat that I know of, Richard Towers, talks about that camp being in camp with Vlad up there in the Austrian mountains, I think they are. And he said that he didn't want to just leave his head on the line and get punched with the big hammer by Vlad all camp. So he went in there and fiddled, just touched him out of the way, And according to him, and I don't believe he has any reason to lie, according to him, Vlad's trainer, I think it was Jonathan Banks. It might have been Jonathan Banks.
Yeah.
It was Jonathan Banks. He said, hey, took him to one side, said, hey, we don't really need that. We don't really need that look. We just, this is prior to the Fury fight. This is the Camp 4 Fury fight. We don't really need that look. We need you a little bit more static. And according to Richard Towers, that's what they told him. They wanted him more static. He said he wasn't going to do that style. So went back in and kind of continued with the awkward slipping out of the way style, hitting, getting out of the way. And basically we're talking about a Tyson-esque, the way that Tyson fought Vlad. He had a man in camp who was simulating that. Now, the reason he was simulating that wasn't necessarily that he was simulating Tyson Fury. He was just using a style where he wouldn't get hit, just like Tyson Fury used a style where he wouldn't get hit. Just touch him, run out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And he had someone in camp with that style, and they chucked him out of camp, I think after a week, paid him for 2 weeks, and then he was out. So, Vlad is at fault for that as well. But then, Fury didn't give him the rematch. Never gave him the rematch.
There's a lot of things. If we wanted to pick things apart in that, there's a lot of things that we could do. But the biggest thing is, really, it should be a no contest because Tyson Fury accepted his Ngannou conviction.
Yeah.
So that's like.
Yeah, I've always said that.
That's like overall.
Mm.
That does normally happen in fights when people have, he should have a minimum that Richard Hamer fight should 100% be a no contest.
It was stipulated by the British Boxing Board.
That's what they actually have the drug test for. So normally those results get overturned as a no contest. People have had no contests given against them for failing a drug test for smoking marijuana.
Yes.
So he should at least have the Christian Hamer no contest. And then look at what happened to Dillion's mandatory status when he failed a drug test.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he shouldn't have been in the ring.
No.
The whole thing, that more than anything undermines the Vlad win. But even if you give him that win and just ignore all this other stuff, how is he better than Tyson, who we're looking at here, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis? Before we even get started about the bottom five.
Yeah.
Before we even start talking about them.
For real. Fury, full stop. Wizard sleeves, up in the building. Okay, so I think the king of the fiddle.
The last thing I want to say, is Frank Warren has achieved a marketing genius.
Yeah,
he's putting on what should be a York Hall card in Saudi.
Would they accept it in the York Hall?
Right. If you take the main event off, which is not a boxing match, that undercard is a good.
That's true.
Non-pay-per-view boxing.
That is true. That is true.
You would expect to see on TNT as part of the subscription, and he's turned that into something that people are going to have to pay £30 for.
Jeez.
And I really hope it tanks.
Jeez. I'm gonna have to send Jeeves up. I'm gonna have to send Jeeves up on the roof for that one.
I really need it to tank personally because. He can't be allowed to continue with this nonsense. I mean, the Derek Chisora fight was bad enough. I boycotted that. Yeah. For the same reason.
It's a good decision. Very good decision.
And I will be boycotting this fight. I don't care how good the undercard is.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't have to pay £30 for any of those fights.
That's true.
So why am I paying £30 for a York Hall card?
Yeah.
Just because Tyson Fury's messing about with Francis Ngannou.
It's a misfit. Why should you pay for a misfits headliner?
Exactly. I don't want to watch that in the first place.
For real. Absolutely. More.
I've had a few people say, but the undercard's really good this week. I'm like, well, okay, but it's only good if you were to say that's a York Hall card. It's not good for £30 of my money. No.
But since we're talking about the card, let's talk about the card. Let me get it up. Let me bring this shiznix up. Because I think we found out who is the king of the fiddle.
The Tinker ones were selling close to the win rate.
Well, there you go. That's skills. That's skills to sell on the edge of the earth. On the edge of the earth, just surfing on the edge of the earth. Come on now. Come on now. Where is it then? Okay. There it is. Let me get it. Let me. What? Why does it look like that? Not supposed to look like that. What? Yeah. Why? No. You mean say that if I, there we go. So if I, okay, that's better. That's better. Let's share. Let's share this shiznix. Boom, boom, boom. You're in tune to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And this is Boxing Talk with Raphie. Just trying to bang one out here. Where are we? At the hour mark. We're not going to stay long, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Well, an hour's already long, but you know, we're on time constraints over here. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so let's just do some picks here. Hold on a sec. Let's have a look what people are saying. Bellotta had massive potential. I've watched him in certain rounds and he looked devastating. But then the next round, he had a head explosion. Yeah, blew his head gasket and looked woeful. Serious nutcase right there. I wonder what he's doing these days. Bellotta. Paying for this nonsense is an admittance to being a half-wit. OMG. I don't know, OMG. I mean, people get caught up in it. If it's your sport, there's a chance you're going to pay for it.
But that's the point, Raphie.
Yeah.
Probably the point where would you pay? Right? If you
I'm not paying for it.
No. Just going to footballing terms.
Yeah.
This is like comparing the Charity Shield to the Champions League final.
Right, different thing altogether.
But this is the Charity Shield. And they're trying to masquerade it as if it's actually the Champions League final.
That's not the Champions. Yeah, exactly, the Champions League final. Yeah. Used to call it the European Cup back in the day. Yeah.
You mean when great teams used to win it, right?
There we go. I'm still Champions League. I had to think 2 times. What do you mean? Oh, the European Cup. Okay. That shows how far I go back. I still think of it as the European Cup. Martin Bacall, yeah, exactly. Martin Bacall's trainer, Billy Connolly, said that he stopped Usyk. Well, he's the man who stops people in sparring. He stopped Usyk. He stopped Dubois. Does he stop Fury?
He's the world's best in sparring.
He's the world's best stopper. He's the world's best stopper of men in sparring. Martin Bacall. In the ring.
Making the fight, so is he?
In the ring, yeah. That's why everybody's ducking him.
He's the ring, quite a few fights, hasn't
he? He's good. I think he's good.
I don't know. I think it's about time we started actually stepping up a bit.
Yeah. Step him up. Right. Well, I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed the Yoka fight. I thoroughly enjoyed that thrashing he gave Yoka.
Yeah, I like that. Well, was he the first one to do it? Yoka's had a few paintings now, hasn't he?
He was the first one to do it, and then Takam did it as well.
Yeah, but Yoka got banjoed in the amateurs. He got knocked out with the gloves. Like actually properly knocked out.
Oh wow.
So like if you have no chin with the big gloves and the head guard, then heavyweight boxing is probably not for you. Deontay Wilder.
Wow.
Just saying.
Wow. OMG. Folks seem to forget it's not even a real fight. So who is the king of the fiddle? Dame. Okay, so we're not even gonna I'm gonna give a prediction on this. But does it need it? Of course, Tyson Fury is going to win because he's the only boxer who will be in the ring. Francis Ngannou, novice, absolute beginner, UFC guy. I ain't boxing. I watch the sparring. I watch some sparring with with a fella who fought Anthony Joshua. It goes by the name of Matt Legg. Anthony Joshua beat him, I think, in 2 rounds. I think, and he was in with this well-known kickboxer, K1 guy who's been retired for a few years now, Paul Venice. And really and truly, if he was kickboxing, Paul Venice would have beat him handily because boxers They don't know nothing about kicks, and they don't know about blocking kicks. They don't know how painful a kick from the shin to the thighs. So they're total novices. They can't handle it unless they have schooled themselves, and that could change the equation. But we've seen anyway. So he was sparring with this K1 guy, but they were sparring boxing, and he made the K1 guy look very, very ordinary. K1 guy wasn't at the races, but yet this is a big kickboxer guy. So what am I leading to? Well, Francis Ngannou is a mixed martial artist. He's not a boxer. He's a mixed martial artist with a heavy punch, but you have to set these punches up, and that requires boxing. Yes, you can get a one punch in. It could be a one hitter quitter, but not against a seasoned professional who also has a sizable reach advantage, a height advantage, just overall size advantage. It won't be impossible for Ngannou to win, but almost impossible. It's not even up for discussion, really, although we're discussing it. John Daly.
Well, first of all, those punches in MMA are with those little mitten things. So is the power actually going to be there when he puts on, what are they fighting in 8-ounce gloves?
Yes.
So
4 ounce gloves in the UFC.
So that makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Secondly, UFC fighters, because of everything else they do, tend to be a lot squarer.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched enough of Ngannou's fights to know.
Yeah.
But the knockouts I have seen, he's caught people coming in.
It's caught what?
Hasn't he caught people coming in?
Right.
Caught them on the way in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's much chance of him catching Tyson Fury on the way in. Tyson Fury doesn't need to get in.
For real.
So what people need to understand is when you catch someone on the way in, it makes your power look a lot better than it is because you're utilizing your opponent's power.
Yes. Momentum.
And from a skill point of view, it's one of the best ways to put someone out.
Yes.
But don't be thinking that a man whose hands move as slow as Ngannou's do is really going to be able to do anything to anyone in the top 15. Anybody, I don't care who it is in the top 15. I'm not putting a prediction in because it's not
a fight.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What the hell's going on here? Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's a fake Fiddle relieving Wonga from the weak-minded. I will be watching it. I will not.
I don't know if you want to admit to that.
Well, I will not be. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Mondo. Like, subscribe, comment, share as we move down the card. So Tyson Fury is going to win that fight. It's not even really a discussion. Tyson Fury wins the fight because he's going to be the only boxer in the ring. In the ring. Where's the rest of the card? Oh, there we are. Okay. Let's go. Wardleyadeleyey. David Adeleye v. Wardley. I think Wardley is he's a white collar boxer, never had amateur experience. But I just think he's the better boxer, He's messy. He can get caught, so Adeleye does have a chance. But I think he's just a better boxer than Adeleye, and I think he is the cleaner when it comes to the knockouts. So Wardley, round 4, KO or TKO for me. John Daly.
Well, I don't really like Adelaide.
No, not after what he did now.
Well, it's not. No, before that.
Right.
Who's that Polish guy he laboured with?
Yeah, he laboured with him.
What's his name? Sovolowski.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Didn't he get popped recently as well?
Oh,
And like arguably, he lost.
yeah,
He got an in-house decision against the Journeyman.
yeah. I didn't see the fight. I just saw clips of it, but I heard that he lost. I didn't see the whole thing. I heard that he lost.
What's his knockout ratio like as well? Because I don't really think he's got power either.
Yeah, I question.
He's got questionable power.
Yeah.
He's a bit undersized. Like they've not given a lot of stats there, but I think Wood has got height and reach and power on him.
Well, 26 to 28 Wardley, 26 Adeleye, 6'5" to 6'4", 78" to 76.5". Orthodox. Tell of the tape.
So, I still think he's got height, speed, power, reach on him. I mean, it's not a huge height advantage, but
no,
2 inches is not. It's still a reach advantage, though.
Yeah.
That's an advantage that you should really utilise. It's not nothing.
Right.
And Wardley, when he does get hurt, it seems to take him to a place where he's going to get you out of there.
Yes.
Every time someone's hurt him,
he comes back and finishes.
His reaction to that is to turn into a beast.
Yes.
And I don't know that Adelaide has got the power to actually do that to him.
For real.
So, besides the fact that after that incident, I want Wardley to win.
Yes.
I think he's actually, although he's not very polished, I think he's got something about him that will get him.
Yes. I agree. It's got something about him. Which could.
And also, Adelaide is not very good.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's not very good.
Wardley's better. What the hell did I do there? There's something going on here. You have to click the specific area, else you're going to get one fighter. Okay. And we move to Martin Boccoli versus Carlos Traps Takam. Geez, look at that. 19 wins, 1 loss, 0. What is that? 0 draws. 40 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. So Takam is the more experienced by far. Has been in with he's the oldest. He's the older by far. 12-year difference. He's shorter. A little bit shorter. He's 6'2". He seems like a short guy, but 6'2" isn't actually short. But anyway, heavyweight maybe.
As well,
say that again.
There's 2 things with Takam. He fights out of a crowd.
Yeah.
And I've seen him listed as 6'1" as well as 6'2".
Okay. Both orthodox. What's going on here? Wins 40 to 19 by KO, 28 to 14. KO ratio slightly in favor of Boccoli. Losses 1-7. So Takam, the more experienced.
What's interesting there, Raphie, is they've not listed Boccoli's reach.
No, they have not.
Because one thing Takam does have is a good reach.
Yeah, that's interesting.
A guy that's only 6'2" at 18-inch reach is pretty.
Yeah, that's decent.
That's pretty decent reach.
That's a very decent reach.
I think it's been a questionable points decision for Cody, because we've seen top ranking Frank Warren giving house fighters the nod, and there's no mileage in giving this to Takam. So I'm not sure Martin's going to stop him. If he does stop him, it's a good stopping.
Yeah. Martin Boccoli, I'm looking for his reach elsewhere. Orthodox height. Oh, no reach there either. Maybe it's a little trick. It's a little ploy. His reach is not listed in the conventional places. That's
very suspicious. They're a bit of a T-Rex.
Oh, it could be that he's a T-Rex, or it could be that he wants to trick people. He wants to trick people and let them know how long his arms are. We'll have another little look at that. What is my assessment? I'm going with Bacoli. He should be able to beat the experienced 42-year-old Takam. They have a common opponent in Yoka. Both beat Yoka. Different ways. I thought that I seemed to have some notion that Yoka stopped Bacoli, but he didn't. It was a MD majority decision. He beat that boy black and blue. He beat that boy from pillar to post and majority decision. Yeah, I remember the controversy now. I remember the controversy. How the hell was that? Oh, and he beat majority decision. Lost majority. Split decision. Split decision. He lost via split decision to Carlos Takam. So, okay, Yoka went the whole way. So they both went the whole way. They both went the whole way with Yoka. But I think the Bacoli performance again. Anyway, styles make fights. That's just how that go. But I am picking Martin Bacoli. I am picking Martin Bacoli via points majority decision.
The fact that he couldn't stop Yoka, and we've just seen Yoka get absolutely banjoed, says to me that if you're landing on it a lot, your power's got to come under a bit of questioning.
Who are we talking about?
Right. So you're saying Martin Bacoli beat Tony Yoka from pillar to post.
Yeah.
But he didn't knock him out.
No.
And we've just seen Yoka get absolutely sparked.
Have we?
Yeah, and I've questioned his chin as well.
By who? Who sparked him?
His last fight, he got banjoed, didn't he?
You're talking about versus Takam. That was his last fight.
No, he's been banjoed after that, I'm sure, yeah.
No. His last fight was Carlos Takam.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then, right?
What you probably remembering is Takam landing on him and getting a bloody nose and whatnot, but he didn't finish.
No. I'll fact check myself. I thought he'd been banjoed.
No. His last two fights was Bacoli and then Takam. Both of them went the full distance. I seem to remember I thought I remembered Bacoli stopping him, but it wasn't. I covered that fight live and just checking the stats here.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I think it's because I've been watching him get banjoed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You watched him getting banjoed and you thought he got finished, but he didn't. Just like I thought he got finished, but he didn't.
Anyway, I'm not sold on this power that only seems to appear in sparring.
Which power? Whose power?
Martin Bacoli's.
I don't think he's a particular power puncher.
He's always allegedly stopping everybody in sparring, isn't he?
Well, when they say stopping, what I heard him say was that he's trying to pull him out. He's trying to pull him out. So he's not saying that I sparked him and he fell on the ground and they had to give him smelling salts. He's not saying that. He's saying that these people had to pull him out. The only reason I know that he's saying that is because I saw him say that in an interview. So when he says I stopped him, he means that there are people call him out, and I don't necessarily. But it could have been the end of the rounds. They could have been agreed to do 8 rounds. So it's creative. The wordage that Bacoli uses or his manager uses is somewhat, I say, is somewhat creative.
Well, my issue with it all is why are we always hearing about sparring? Because again, this is a fairly soft matchup for me. I think Takam's quite a hard person to get out of there.
Yeah.
But Martin should, if he's gonna be like in the top 10, he should be able to win at some point.
This is a good test for him. This is a good test.
42, you still think Takam's a good test? Like, to me, he was.
Yeah.
he was a top 10 fighter, but how long ago was that?
Well, he lost to he beat Yoka. He lost to Makhmadov. He lost to Joe Joyce.
That one's not Joe Joyce.
Makhmadov.
No, didn't Derek knock him out as well?
Well, he beat Jerry Forrest, then Maldonado, Craig Lewis, who the hell's he? Gashi. He lost by TKO to Derek Chisora, of course, and he lost to Anthony Joshua. So after Anthony Joshua, he lost to Derek Chisora. Then he had what? 1, 2, 3, 4 fights.
And how many years are we going back here, right?
Well, he lost to Joshua. He lost to Joshua in 2017, October. He lost to Derek Chisora in the following fight by TKO, 8th round.
And what year is that?
That is 2018.
So that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago he fought Gashi. He fought Gashi, Craig Lewis, Maldonado, and then Jerry Forrest. So he had a 4-win streak, which took him up to 2007. Hold on. 220. 2020. So that was 2020. That's 2 years after his loss to Derek Chisora. He then loses to Joe Joyce in middle of 2021. He then loses to Arslan Makhmadov in 2022 and beats Tony Yoka in 2023. So he's still a jobbing boxer.
My point is, he was only put in with Yoka to be the comeback fight to get that win after losing to Piccoli.
Yeah,
and that's more an indictment on how bad Tony Yoka actually is.
Well, yeah.
Takam is a great servant. He's like, kind of like Derek in terms of he doesn't sell tickets, but he comes to fight. He always comes to fight, but no issue with Takam. But if you're serious that you're in the top 10, you should be beating Takam.
You should be beating Takam.
At this age, at 42, a 42-year-old Takam.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go all the way back to like 2015, it's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah. Ngannou looks slower than Benny from Crossroad.
And so is everybody who's paying for the fight.
I know Benny's son, by the way.
They're local, aren't they?
No, he's Northfield side.
Raph, that's still Birmingham.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suppose so.
I mean, but, if we're gonna go within the
yeah, it is. Yeah. Northfield side. Kind of crazy Northfield.
Yeah.
I knew this woman who wanted me to tend to her, and
if you'd find that from Northfield, Raph.
She was from Northfield. She wanted me to
She doesn't know where you live.
No. She can't find Dawkins Towers. So she wanted Raphie to tend to her. It was pretty obvious. And I thought about it. Do I don't need to. She ain't that hot that I need to. It's just.
Maybe you do one of those politeness ones.
It's just, it was something to do, and do I really just want to do something for something to do? I've not passed that stage, so I thought, nah, forget it, just forget it. There's hotter girls. There's hotter girls who leave me more motivated, so I just forget it. So I forgot it. I let it go. Allowed it. So
feels not.
No. So then, about a year or two later, on social media, and there's this kid who shot out somebody's window with a shotgun, and it was the gang themselves recorded the action. They recorded the kid shooting a shotgun at somebody's window in their house. That kid was only a son. He was only a son, and I knew the kid as well. He just seemed hell bent. He just seemed hell bent on criminality. Why blow out somebody's window with a shotgun and then have one of your group record it Absolute madness, man. So anyway, that was a good decision by the Raphie.
There's something in the water there that significantly lowers the IQ.
There's something
but
bad.
Overall, it's a bit of a center for inbreeding.
It is. That
and Wheelie Castle Rough.
Oh bloody hell!
Areas,
That's another place. That's another place.
I mean, you do well if you want to sell mobility scooters. It's a good stocking trader there.
There's certain spots is crazy. But yeah, that's where I know Benny's son from. Okay, Takam being a solid fighter over the years, I'd like to see him win. Okay, it's not impossible. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. But Coley, the undisputed heavyweight sparring partner,
100%.
100%. How much deeper? Oh, are we giving our picks? I think I've said Bacoli by points.
Yeah. I'm going for points by foul, mean, or fair because they're giving house decisions on that side of the street, and there's nothing in it for anybody if to come with.
For real. Fair enough. This smack hit guy, I think I've seen him fight before, but I don't really know him. So I can't really talk about him. Makhmudov, big shot putter looking guy with this crazy nervous tick. Well, it's not nervous, he's just a tick. I don't think he's nervous. He's just got this crazy tick, and I really think he should be checked out for any neurological issues because he's got a very
get knocked out one of these days.
He's got a very pronounced tick. What did you say?
I think Makhmudov's the knockout waiting to happen. To be honest,
me too. I think he's. I'm not going to call him a dusser. But he's big.
It's interesting. He's coming in against somebody his own size here.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about him. What is he, Croatian or something?
What flag is that? Croatian flag, yeah. I don't know anything about him. He's 33.
I can't really predict on this. He's got T-Rex arms as well, hasn't he? Like Makhmudov, 77-inch reach, 6'6".
Okay, yeah, that's not tall. That's not long for his height.
Do his arms reach his pockets?
He's 6 foot. He's 6'6", both 6'6", 77-inch
right,
reach.
Louis had a 76-inch reach or 75. He's like 6'2".
He's 6. Who's that? Who's 6'2"?
Joe Louis had he's nearly got a Joe Louis amount of reach going on.
Blimey. Yeah, it's kind of T-Rex for that kind of height. Yeah, kind of T-Rex for that kind of height, but I don't know enough about this smack kick.
I mean, I'm assuming he's been brought in there to make Makhmudov look good.
I would assume so. He's got 19 wins. Yeah.
And he's Croatian, so it doesn't bode well.
It doesn't bode well.
He's a big lump to look the part to get knocked over.
Yeah. Southpaw, that might make it interesting. Southpaw versus Orthodox.
Last fight, he lost TKO in his last fight.
Damn. That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign, is it?
That's not a good sign. So, but I'm going to go limited information. If I have to put any money on, I'll be putting it on Makhmudov. Why did he lose his last fight?
Let me just check that.
Okay.
That's what I've kind of took from that information there, but it's not clear.
If Fury gets weighed at anything under 22 stone, somebody's having a giraffe at anything under 22 stone. Under 22 stone. You mean over? Or under?
Oh, it's worse than I thought, right?
Uh-oh.
So he didn't lose his last fight, but he has been knocked out by Ajit Kabayel.
Oh, Ajit Kabayel.
That's not a man known for his power, is it?
That's not a man known for his power. Ajit Kabayel. That's not a man known for his power. The tick's only there when he's fighting. Is it? Tick's only there when he's... So maybe he is a nervous tick then. Maybe he is a nervous tick. I don't know. But if I had to give a prediction, I would go with Makhmudov. Makhmudov, how are we going to call it? Hey, let's go for Makhmudov by knockout. Let's say that. in the the second half of the fight. How about that? Second half of the fight.
I don't think it's going to go that far. I think they brought in somebody to do a highlight reel knockout. They're trying to build Makhmudov up to be this amazing.
Yeah.
But he hasn't fought anybody in 17 fights at all. And this is, to me, someone who can be knocked out by Ajit Kabayal is a nobody, essentially.
Ajit Kabayal, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign, but people...
From the distance with him, and Ajit had fiddled to a victory. That's a different issue. You know,
different matter. Different matter.
Knocked out by him, that's a concern.
Hey. Okay, John, we promised the people, I said 1 hour to 1.5. We've gone over that with 2.5 minutes over the 1.5 hours, so we did well into overtime. John, it's been great chopping this up with you. It's late over here in the UK.
Yeah, it's Birmingham bedtime, right?
It's definitely bedtime. Definitely bedtime for me. Early start.
I'm going to bid you good night. Thanks for having me on. Right?
Excellente. And that was the John D. Lee. And not really much else to say. We got the fight coming up this weekend. I will be watching it. I'm going to send Jeeves up on the roof. So there will be a live show on Saturday to accompany this Tyson Fury. What is it? The Misfits. Tyson Fury Misfits match. Featuring Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, the UFC guy. That's how we're going to do it. But tonight we talked about the king of the fiddle. And I trust you worked it out. Oh, it's good to talk. It's good to talk. It's good to talk. We'll talk some more. Check out the videos. Go into the channel. See what you missed. I made a video about 2-3 days ago. Check it out if you have not already done so, if you so wish. It's late over here. It's hectic over here. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the thanks for coming. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. The like is to subscribe. It's the comments and it's the shares. And it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. But for now, all that's left for me to say is like, subscribe, comment, share, and bless it.